Today's show is brought to you by Visit Lauderdale.com.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim-flam sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Thank God, Sandwich Month is over, and it's September. It's September 1st. I made it. I don't have any T-shirt that says I survived Sandwich Month. I do have a T-shirt that says Sandwich Month on it that compliments of Jim Sarney with an erroneous number. It was my target number. 31 is on the back, but I guess I got to get the T-shirt reprinted. Or Sarney, if you're out there, make another one and slap a 51 on it, because that's my total, baby, and that's going to be the future target for I don't think I'm breaking any world records with eating 51 sandwiches, different sandwiches from different places over the course of a month. But I think it, for maybe overweight 50-somethings who are degenerate gamblers, there might be a category for me. So.
I think you're breaking a lot of hearts because a lot of people want you to stick around for a while, and they saw you downing those sandwiches. And yesterday, took the cake, which I was happy to see on Let's Eat South Florida, all the different comments about Las Patas. There's always one wise guy who has to throw in a picture of a VNS, but you made your position clear that everything should be judged on its own merits. And Las Patas, I just had a little bite of some of the leftovers there. Equally delicious the next day. Just unbelievable.
Now, I noticed that you guys swiped all the leftovers, and I didn't get to take any of it. And I don't know if that was because it was kind of a not so subtle hint that I need to start laying off the sandwiches. And in that vein, here we go. Here's today's lunch. You got a nice, fresh.
Oh my God, look at you. What is that?
Well, it's a little no fat Greek yogurt with nice fruit salad, strawberries and blueberries, and a little sprinkling of cashew granola. Total calories in this bowl is 220. And
nice. Here's the thing. Total is a key word there, because you need the total commitment. You dabbled in a little bit of this during the course of the last month, where all of a sudden on the lunchbox you pop on a show, Mike Mayo, and you had a banana and some granola bar or whatever. But then you went right back into the thing, and on top of that, you factor in your commitment to this Delray app, Best of Delray app, and you're hanging out with a guy like Dick Steen, who he is the devil, returning to life.
Yeah,
when it comes to your
the
food
Antichrist
and diet.
of dieting.
Yes, the Antichrist of dieting. So, so I don't know. You're going to stick to it. That's the thing. Are you going to stick to it?
Okay, first of all, here's
the tease.
I've got so many things going on in my head.
Where's the
right
commitment?
Now.
Is the question?
No, I have commitment. First of all, I want to just tell everybody what your lunch is today. I don't know if you can see it, but we see a nice
a little crow,
a little crow prepared there. That's
now, is that done by Chef Oliver over at the Cafe Max? Because he puts a nice sauce on there. Maybe we could get Tom Tanners.
Maybe down at the Catherine or something like that. Place,
do they serve crow anywhere? There has to be a restaurant that serves crow.
I don't know. Serena heard a lot of it. Serena must have heard Defo.
Maybe some pigeon. I've seen quail and pigeon on menus.
Are you a fan of pigeon? Because that's like a delicacy, right?
It's a French delicacy. I love quail. I love the Cornish game hens. I used to see those at bar mitzvahs. Those little mini chickens.
What about les pigeons? Huh? No, you don't ever order that in a French restaurant?
I think I have. In France, I've had a les pigeons. It was very, tender, smaller.
I'm not eating no
pigeon.
I
wouldn't eat the pigeons in Central Park. Let's put it that way. But no,
seagull. Will that be next? I don't know.
I have to fairly rag on you for, look, you laid it out on the line, and I didn't disagree with you yesterday. I thought she had 0.0 chance of winning this second match against the number 2 overall seed. But as you noted, the number 2 overall seed has been struggling of late.
She's having her problems after COVID, I think.
Mini slump. And she, you know what? Now, after seeing what we saw last night, let's put it this way, Defo. I'm not betting on her to win it all on Serena, but I wouldn't bet against her.
Well, let's look at what really happened there. Okay. While you're serving me this platter of crow, what takes place in this match? What would strike you as being somewhat unusual? She's playing like
Tiger Woods
garbage.
shows up with his vials of potions and
Tiger Woods,
magic
yes.
formula.
What happened? She loses second set, looks really bad. It's all unraveling. Now, she wins a tiebreaker in the first set. You could attribute that to the fact that maybe Confit was a little bit nervous. I mean, you have 24,000 people cheering when you fall to the ground. It's like being a Dallas Cowboy in Philadelphia. I mean, that's tough to contend with for anybody, no matter how mentally tough. All right, so she ekes out a tiebreaker first set, plays well enough, so you're thinking, that's pretty good. Falls completely apart in the second set. It's all going south. Who's not there for the next 15 minutes? Serena. She disappears into a room, comes out, and starts playing like Serena from 15 years ago.
And where was Tiger?
Mark McGuire, what was going on there?
Where was Tiger during those 15 minutes?
Exactly.
Where was he?
What was in his bag? And did anybody
Did they
search
show him?
No. But you know what? All kidding aside, and you're not kidding. I know you're cynical.
No, it was a remarkable turnaround. It really was. I'm not going to suggest for a second that there was something illegal going on there, or that they found the draw, even though this was number 2 in the world.
Loser.
I mean, I have to say that being somebody that likes to play sports, I mean, for her to refine her game in the third set was pretty amazing.
And there was that little hiccup in the middle of the third set after she double faulted, and like she looked like she was going to go up 3-love, and then the other gal was able to break her back, and I mean, so it was 2-1, and I thought, that's where it's all going to end for Serena. Right. The fairy tale ends, and no, then she just like gathered herself and looked like the Serena from the early 2000s, and just motomed and was moving around the court, and she hit that one cross court winner. I was like, oh my! I mean, and that's where you just got to sit back and enjoy and say, you know what? The greats are great for a reason, because sometimes they can summon the ghosts of the past. And I think I told you a few weeks ago, Defo, when we were kind of ragging and mocking Serena because she didn't look good. I mean, obviously, not the same athlete as she used to be. She's become a mother, and we all know those things, and looked, slower, and couldn't basically move her feet at all. But I said a couple of weeks ago, I said, just like Tiger Woods was able to like pull that rabbit out of his hat in 2019 at Augusta. I mean, who saw that one coming? And now Tiger shows up and probably trying to, sprinkle some of the magic dust on
whatever
Serena.
he was taking in that Masters tournament in the fourth round there. And did you notice something unusual there? Every other person that was in contention fell completely apart, as if on cue.
That Master, right? No, yes. I mean, I'm not suggesting anything untoward or cynical. I'm just saying sometimes the sporting gods gives us these gifts of just unbelievable storylines. And again, I'm not gonna bet against Serena at this point. I don't know what her odds on winning the whole tournament are now.
Rudy Tomjanovic. Believe this or not, Mike Mayo, that people are jumping on this bandwagon like you've never seen. She was 50-1 to begin the tournament, which she could have been 1,000-1, because I still don't think she has any chance of winning the tournament. She dropped down to 30-1 after that opening round match, which Kovanic literally handed her like it was an hors d'oeuvre on a platter. And then she did beat a legitimate player who has been slumping. I mean, that hardly looked like the number 2 player in the world if you watch
in the second set. She did.
Some of these other girls play. But she was competitive. It wasn't like she was awful. Serena played great to win the third set. She actually won it instead of just having it gifted to her. And now in the third round, she plays another sort of nondescript opponent here, because either way, it was going to go that way. She was going to have somebody fairly unknown in the third round as well.
Things are falling into place.
14-1 though to win the tournament.
Okay, things are falling into place now, and if you believe in some sort of higher power or sporting gods, then maybe something. Now, Sarni's going to have to fill me in. I don't know where the brackets and the draw, how it all aligns, but is it possible that like if Serena goes through to the finals, could she possibly face Coco Gauff in the finals?
Where is Gauff? I haven't heard anything about Gauff. How is Gauff doing?
Gauff's doing fine. She won 2 matches so far, looked pretty good in both, and is playing great tennis. I think there are any number. I mean, Serena might even win this third round. I'm not sure. It's possible if she played like she did in the third set. But I can't see her getting.
Well, of course, you couldn't even see her advancing, and now you have to reach into your pocket to take Tony Segreto. And this is what
Segreto, you notice what I did there. I suggested Texas Roadhouse, which a steak's like $20 there, and it's great. So
you could have gone to Tropical Acres on a Monday, Tuesday, and got away pretty.
Even with Jack's prices, I got off light on this one.
Talk Texas Roadhouse is even a lighter tab, which
I'm going to fill Tony
perfect for you, a septuagenarian who's probably watching his pennies, a pensioner, simple pensioner.
You can't knock market. See, there you go, Mayo, with a broad brush, with a negative label. Texas Roadhouse is great and a tremendous value.
No. And I'd like to join you if you would maybe pay.
You're
my
welcome
way
to
there.
come because I'm saving so much money on Segredo.
Well, all right. Is
you
that
can
an
come
offer
out.
to pay? Because
Yeah,
that would be
I'll pay.
fantastic. I do
I think
want to
Lubie
try
has some
it.
coupons still that he
I
stole
don't
from
know
the radio station.
which
years
one.
ago.
There's one in, I guess, Coconut Creek now. I'd
Coconut
like
Creek
to-
could be the place.
Yeah, no,
Coconut
I'd
Creek's the one.
absolutely love to join you because I want to check out those rolls, that bread. They're warm.
And the
That
road-
fresh baked bread. I mean,
Yeah.
when
The
Segredo
way
says
Tony
that,
describes it, it's like
Yeah.
it gets me aroused a little bit. It's kind of crazy.
you don't even need a meal when you go if you go with Tony Segreto. That's the
It's
beauty.
bread.
Is we're going to stop at the bread. I'll buy him a beer and I'm out of the bed. But
So-
look, I don't mind losing when I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
You were
It's fine.
spectacularly wrong, and you know what? I was kind of I didn't
I
disagree with
agreed
you
with him. I
yesterday.
thought she
Yeah,
was done.
yeah. No, I look. This is a good story, and
Set 2 to
and-
set 3,
and-
different story. Where was
Yes, it's
Serena?
not.
And if
Where
you're the
was
Hollywood
Serena?
scriptwriter, I
Yeah.
mean, the ultimate best story is if Coco Gauff is in the different bracket, and there's a chance of the young up and comer
Pass the
American
torch.
from Delray Beach meeting the aging legend as she's about to retire from Palm Beach Gardens or wherever they're living now
She
in
lives in South
Jupiter or
Florida.
whatever. Yeah,
I'm going to
but,
make it 2 bets, Mike Mayo, here for 2 dinners at Texas Roadhouse. All right.
Texas.
Number 1, there will not be a Serena Coco Gauff final, and number 2, Serena will not be anywhere near the final. I'll make it
Well,
those 2 bets right now.
this is going to have to be like with
money where your mouth
odds.
is, Mr. Crow.
No.
Money where your mouth
I had
is.
another proposition for you. I'm staying away from tennis betting. Like I said, I'm not betting against Serena, and I'm not going to bet on her either. I just want to watch.
Nice,
this and
strong
enjoy it.
position. Way to take a
No,
position there.
can I just be like a fan and enjoy something? Jesus
No,
Christ, what a
you're a
degenerate!
degenerate
You gotta like
sicko. How can you be? Oh, I'm just going to watch this horse race because I really like watching 3-year-olds. Get out of here. What
No,
good
I'm
is it
gonna
if you
watch
don't
the
have any
tennis.
money on it? I don't care if Secretariat wins. It's no fun.
Look, I came to you today because I was prepared to offer up another bet. Okay, and
All
it
right.
has nothing to do with sports. It has to do with Mike Mayo, his health, and his body. Okay.
All right. Well,
I
we're
got
all
on the
concerned about
scales.
that. Did you
I
notice
got on the
concern?
scales this
And?
morning. Okay, after the 51 sandwiches consumed in a month, and I got back on the road. I did some road work. I did my 5.2 miles yesterday. I did my 3.6 miles today. I've been pretty faithful. I've been out there 6 days a week
No, that's
in
good.
that blistering sun, and
Good
thank
start.
God, because if I didn't,
Ooh.
I really would be butterbeanish at this
No doubt.
point. But so let me. I guess I'll give you a guess. I went into this month at 232 pounds, which is a little bit heavy for me. My preferred weight is 195, and haven't seen that since
You haven't
before I
seen
was a
that
food
since your
critic.
bar mitzvah. What are you talking about?
No, I
All
haven't
right.
seen that since. It was actually
Not his birthday.
October of 2016 was the last time my first digit on the scale began with a 1.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know if it was because-
2013? That's not bad. So
No,
you're
no,
in your 40s?
2016.
16.
16. I became food critic in
16
2016.
rhymes with Dickstein. So
That's
the
right.
rest my case. Yeah.
Yes, but
Where
no,
are you
I actually was in the 190s all throughout like the first 6 months of becoming a food critic. I was faithfully exercising, and then something happened in November of 2016. I don't know if it has anything to do
Well,
with
you got
my
in a
stress
car
eating.
accident? You couldn't walk? What was the deal?
Look back at the calendar, Defo. What happened in November of 2016 to this country?
November
Oh,
2016.
Trump got elected.
Oh, yeah.
That
So
ruined
you
it.
started eating out of anxiety because you thought the democracy was going to get crushed?
Right?
Thought we were all doomed, and we still might be.
Yeah, it didn't matter. You may as well start eating like you're going to the chair because we're going. I like
So, and then it was a steady uphill progression, and my peak was at 255, and that was just
Wow.
gross. After I left the paper, I got my way back down to about 220, 225, which was good.
not
At this
bad.
point
Yeah,
in
you
my
could
life,
take that. Sure.
my doctors were happy. But then, when I get back in the 230s, it gets a little dodgy. Anyway, started the month at 232. Do you know what I ended up when I got on the scale today?
232.
243.
It was actually plus 6, 238.
Okay.
238 was the
Yeah,
number.
yeah.
Now, here's the thing.
That's
I've
really
got-
not bad. I mean,
It's
that
not
shows
bad,
that the
but
walking's doing you some good because, I mean, the way you shoveled those 2 sandwiches, the first 2, literally in your face yesterday, I was like, wow, what happened to this guy?
My mom was like, and I guess it was the day before when you had the burgers or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like,
Oh, at top round, yeah.
yeah, because so I post
Yeah.
everything, and she saw it, and she's like, "I love what you guys are doing, but the way he ate that burger, I mean, it's not, he just no one else could eat it after he just shoved it in his mouth, and he just like out of nowhere, I'm like, yeah, that's sort of mayo."
Now, we were talking about, I guess you guys were talking about this morning on the morning show about, how was I scarred in some way as a youth? And I don't come from not a poor family, not a big family. I had 2 older brothers, and I had no issues at my dinner table at home. But what happened was I went to Boy Scout camp for a number of summers.
Now,
And
you don't have to explain everything there.
I don't want to know what happened at night.
Yeah, we don't want every detail.
No.
Us
It's just
at
that
the track with that medical experience you had. My God, people couldn't even bet
at
after
the
that.
mess hall, there would be like platters, and you'd have to dig into the platter. You'd have to get the food first, otherwise it would be all gone. Especially if it was like something that was edible, like 3 times a week that they actually served an edible meal.
So you're blaming the Boy Scouts? Is that?
Yeah, I'm going to blame it on Boy Scout camp. That's why I kind of like sometimes just
You're not
mark
the
my
first.
territory. At least I don't lick the buns and stuff like that. I just kind of grab them with
May as well. Yeah, you may as well just shove them somewhere where the sun don't shine. I mean, no one's going to have a piece after you've gone ahead and picked those things up. It's crazy.
Hey.
But
now
I
getting
mean,
back,
you almost eat like Joey Chestnut in the Nathan's thing yesterday with that meatball sub that you had at Las Palmas. I mean, that went down like a chestnut hot dog. It did.
When I did the 5.2 miles, I didn't eat anything in the morning. I was famished when I walked in there. And that place, it just stimulates your appetite. You know, the smells and the tastes. I mean, the sights of people tossing meat. I mean, it's just, again, talk about getting aroused. I was like, I got that platter in front of me and I saw that meatball and it was just like a warm, nice wet blanket, and I just went down for it. It just went down so easily, that soft pillowy bread. And big props to Las Spadas. I appreciate everything for what it is, and that style of hoagie, that Philadelphia with the softer hoagie roll, it absorbs kind of all the juices and things that you put on it. I'm a big fan of Las Spadas.
Oh, beautiful. Okay,
I'm not making any faces anymore. And again, everything has its own style and has its own time. And yeah, I still love V&S. I love their crunchy semolina Italian bread and the way they construct their sandwiches. Again, as I discovered in Sandwich Month, there's so many varieties out there. And just like the Visit Lauderdale folks, it's, there's every sandwich under the sun around here in these parts. And I enjoyed all 51 of them. And I'll give a recap. But now comes the betting part of the day. And I'm not going to bet on Serena. This is the proposition for you. I have a doctor's appointment on September 22nd. He'll usually yell at me. It's time for the blood work. Find out what all my, all the
You
the
just had
readings
some of this
are.
done, though, recently, didn't you? I mean, you got all this numerology.
Well, there was certain things that are new. Now it's back for the regular 6-month checkup where he checks my blood sugar levels and all that stuff, and I get the lecture. So anyway, I'm 238 on the scale this morning. My proposition to you is, do you think I could lose more than 10 pounds in the next 3 weeks? Do you think I could weigh in?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, sure.
All right. So then
you could go out and work up a schwitz before you went to the doctor and lose 5. I mean, right there, So, I mean, make sure you don't eat anything before you go to the doctor.
So then we don't have a bet. How about 225? If I put the number 225.
225 from 238?
Yeah.
I'd be willing to make that bet because I'd be happy to lose that one. I really would.
Okay.
I wasn't that thrilled about losing to Segredo because, as you know, Segredo is pie in the sky, and we are the
such a
purveyors of evil. Yeah, I mean,
he literally has rose-colored glasses. I've seen them. He puts them on,
and it's wonderful. And he already has her winning the tournament, which it's not happening. But I just for your sake alone, I'd be willing to do that. But the problem is we have this show to do, and you have a commitment to go out there, and you're the one that has to try everything. You're spearheading the movement here.
The problem is you said the name, and I guess he's been on vacation, so that's why we haven't heard the name Dick Steen, and that's why it's 238, not 244.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's not our show. I'm not blaming our show. It's before the show, he's usually pretty healthy.
It's Dick Steen, it's Sarney. You're right.
After the show, normally he's healthy. Our show is when he goes crazy, and that's fine. That's what the show is devolved into. My problem is because Dick Steen Tuesday and Dick Steen Wednesday and Dick Steen Thursday, it's not one more meal, it's like 5 more meals, and they just go up and down Delray eating every friggin' place. That's a different story.
And then stop when you're done eating like 5 meals at Costa's to get like a giant, a slice of pizza that's the size of this boxing poster behind.
I stopped in to say hello, and the next thing you know, he's like throwing out a slice of pepperoni in my face. He says, "Here, it's for you." And it's like, it would be disrespectful not to eat this beautiful.
I understand you have certain commitments and things that you have to honor. And, you have to, you can't like say, "Hey, I'm not hungry." You're Mike Mayo. Gambling
But
Gourmet.
maybe
food
I'll
critic.
go into seclusion or hiding and just won't answer.
We
any
need
of
a health
16
month though,
texts.
a salad month, and Sarni says that's not till like next May or something. You know, it might be too
Well,
late.
we
by
could
then for
create
all of
our
us.
own food
Well, yeah, it
holidays
doesn't
here.
have
We
to.
don't have to just go by the official Ministry of Silly Food Holidays. We could
I
create
think you
our
can
own
lose the weight
salad.
and still eat some very good meals. I
I think
believe.
Well, that's
yeah.
this
This
is
month.
what
I think that's what
this.
that's
So this
going
is what the bet is.
Be
Because
selective.
3 weeks from today, I'm gonna have a weigh-in, and we'll see if I could get to 225.
I'm
If
hearing
I'm at
Rocky music in the
225
background.
or below,
Yeah.
then I will, I guess, take you guys out for. No, if I'm 225 below, you guys are gonna take
We
me
owe
out
you.
We
for
do.
a
We'll take you
salad.
out. We'll take you out for like some vegetarian meal.
A
Okay.
nice salad.
Yeah.
And if I, let's say if I come between 225 and 227, it's a push. And if I'm over 227, I have to reach
No,
into
let's
my
put a
pocket.
number on it. Come on, Mike Mayo. I mean, if you're
You're
heading in
a
the right
hard
direction,
ass
that's
when it
good.
comes
No,
to-
I mean, but there has to be a
Well,
number.
Betsy
There has to
wants
be
to
some
know. He likes
definition.
to
It's a
know.
bet. For
You don't
God's
give me
sake.
a little
Well,
wiggle
what if
room,
my
like,
horse is within a length and a half of the win? Do I still get paid for the win? No,
I
you
don't get a
lose.
participation prize if I come in between 225 and 227.
Noble
I'd be
effort,
pretty
but-
happy
25
with
is
that.
your push. I mean,
We'd be
All
you're-
right,
happy
well,
for
this
you
is going
too,
to be
but
challenging. This is going
the
to be a
bet has to
challenge.
be
This
based on a
means
specific number, my friend.
This means no drinking. This means no carbs. This means no late night food. Nothing after 8 o'clock shall pass
All
my
right, well,
lips.
you're gonna have to go with
This
that,
is
yeah.
going to be some hardcore 3 weeks, and that means you're going to really see hangry, grumpy Mayo because this is not a pretty sight.
But you can eat in the morning, see, and you can kind of get into a little bit of that interval fasting thing where you shut it off after a
Right.
certain time, and then
And I
don't
can
eat
hang
for
out
hours
with
from there.
Dickstein for lunch, like late lunches.
You can't
after
hang
the
out with
show.
Dickstein. Dickstein is forbidden.
I think Dixie.
The
We,
thing I
we
love
will we
about-
will coach you to a win. We would be happy to do that, both Lubie and I, because we want you to stick around. All of your fans there. Let's eat South Florida. Come on, let's unite. 86,000 strong, and push Mayo into a healthier mode. And everybody would be happy if we lost this bet. I would be happy. I really would.
Arnie's
The one
saying,
time
I
I'd
can't
be
eat
happy
any
to lose.
rolls. I can't eat any rolls or bread at
That's the
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. You
But I
can't
guess
eat-
that Roadhouse debt won't be settled till after the 22nd.
You can go there, but you're going to have a little restraint and not
Yeah,
shovel
a
3
salad.
rolls in your puss
Salad
before
and
we
That's
even
the
get
thing,
the
it's
order
not-
in.
it would be eating moderation, drinking moderation, and that's from what I've learned of you. You're not a moderation guy. You're a
Well,
that's
yeah,
what I'm
because I eat very little bits for 6 meals a day. That's it.
We'll get it
That
done.
can work though. That actually can get you over the
Yeah,
top
it
in
can-
this
It
quest.
can
Yeah.
get- if it's accompanied by frequent exercise and
Yes.
infrequent visits with Dickstein. But now
Yes.
the reason why I love Dickstein is because he'll come to me. He'll say, "Oh, I'm going keto this month," and like, and then like he'll hit his number, and then he'll go out and eat like 12 hamburgers.
Yeah, like a wild boar is not on the keto diet.
The Wild Bar Pappardelle. That's a good. No, so
Maybe one fancy dinner a week.
Well-
I mean, if you're going to really do this, and then you have
I
to
only got
just
3 weeks.
eat in
okay?
moderation. Half the meal instead of
And
the
I
whole
could
thing,
even
and then
go
order
out to
more.
eat if you eat the right things. Even if you're going out to eat,
Yeah.
if you're eating pure protein and
Seafood,
vegetables at
seafood.
good restaurants, and it's Dine Out Lauderdale month. It's also Dine Out Downtown Del Rey is going on in September. That's a whole other thing that I might hit a couple places in Del Rey also. But maybe I'll go heavy later in the month after I hit my number in the towards the the 22nd. I guess is going to be my day of doom. But I'm going to go around to a bunch of Dine Out Lauderdale
That's pretty
restaurants.
quick though to lose 13, and I mean it's
It's
doable,
It's just not great.
but it's pretty fast.
No, it's a little bit over. Usually you can do like 4 pounds a week. So it's right around that number, 4
Yeah.
pounds a week. I got 3 weeks from today, so I got to do 4 pounds a week.
Well, you don't have any chance to waver. You're going to have to really stay on this thing.
No, and
Yeah.
again, it's a lot of discipline. It's again cutting out all the bad carbs. You can still eat fruits and vegetables.
What
but-
about gambling? Are you going to be able to gamble during this period of time?
Oh, there'll be intense gambling. That's the only thing that'll keep my mind off of food. Are you kidding me?
We want
Uh-oh,
to see you
Dickstein
in like
is
a
waiting.
thong bathing suit on the show September 23rd. I'll be looking forward to that date.
Dickstein
You'll be
is
going
weighing
shirtless
in.
on the programs. What did
Dickstein
he
is
say?
saying ban Defo.
You don't take him anywhere.
I don't have an issue here. I love Dickstein. I think he's great. I don't think he's helping you
I
any.
think he's getting
Although,
a
I
little-
mean,
he's
from
getting
a
little
business
defensive
standpoint,
here.
yes. But
I think Dickstein's great. I want to go to some of these meals, but he's
Yeah.
not great for Mayo.
I wanna
I'm
hang out with
good at
Dickstein.
Serving myself.
plus, he picks up all the checks, Libby. He picks up every check.
I know. I can survive the Dickstein stuff because I'll have half of a thing or a quarter
Yeah.
of a thing. Mayo doesn't know how to do that. This stupid camp ruined him. Where if he sees something, He's eating the thing he sees. Literally,
Some
he's like,
evil
"Dessert."
scoutmaster, got
When
him
he
into
texted
this
that thing from
whole.
Costa's, it said dessert, and I didn't see the picture. I'm
They
like,
used
oh
to
yeah,
starve us.
they had that really good cake thing. I'm like, so I'm looking for the cake. I'm like, why is there 3 slices of pizza? I'm like, what is that? The dessert? I'm like, 3 slices of pizza is not dessert.
No,
I'm like,
it's not the way to cap off an evening of dietary behavior. I mean, I guess the other
That's a
thing.
delicious spoonful of fruit with some yogurt, by the way. Delicious.
See, yeah, I mean, and you're still eating, which is incredible.
This is a good start. This will get him a
It's
tablet.
not a
Now,
lunchbox.
this would
if
be an
I'm-
interesting thing. I mean, because people are concerned about this, and maybe you can feature some of these kind of ideas during the course of the next month as we change it up. We don't listen to Sarni saying that it's like National Buffalo Burger Month, and we just make our own month here on the show where you try to find places where people who are looking to eat healthy can have a leg up. Because that's often a problem too.
And that's-
You'll be out with some
That's a weight
vegetarian or
month.
whatever, and there's nothing on the menu that they can order, which you don't like to see.
No, there's always something healthy that you can order at restaurants. It's just a matter of having the discipline to do it. And
Yes.
and again, when you go to some of these great restaurants around Lauderdale and Greater Fort Lauderdale, now is a good time to talk about our friends at Visit Lauderdale and Nikki Mohan. We're kind of giving a little bit of a respite the next few weeks.
She's not with us today.
No, she
Getting ready
is
for a cruise. They have a big
swamped.
trip this upcoming
She
week,
well,
so
she's
it's very
swamped with a bunch of stuff. This Orange Blossom Classic is going on this weekend, I think, at the
Oh, yeah?
stadium. One of these
Okay.
college kickoff things that
It's
Visit
like
Lauderdale
FAMU
folks.
and
Yeah,
who?
Grambling, I think.
yeah?
And
I'm
it's one of
telling you,
those.
not in the
So
US. I'm
she's
thinking
got
of-
all these ancillary events
Texas.
that she's got going on with that, and then next week she's entitled to taking a little time off and a cruise too, and that's fine. So we're gonna be we'll check in with her at the later parts of the month, and after the 22nd, I want to have a nice remote edition of Visit Lauderdale with Stacy Ritter, the head of the
Oh, beautiful.
Convention and Visitors Bureau, along with Nikki, and we'll go to a place of their choosing, and I will eat very healthy, if at all. Maybe I'll just have a little nibble like you usually do, Defo. But
a lot of it depends too on when you eat. I mean, that's
Oh,
a
no,
big thing
it's
about losing
timing.
weight. It
Timing
really
is
is.
crucial. Yes,
Yeah.
and again, if you eat on the earlier side and then you stay up and do a little, post dinner walk and burn off some calories, that's the way to go.
You keep the walking going. Do we buy you a tennis racket? Are you inclined to?
I have the
get a
bicycle. I'm going to
mountain?
I'll
yeah?
fill the
Okay.
air on the tires. But again, other people out there don't have to nibble. You could also full out enjoy and indulge if you want on the Dine Out Lauderdale promotion that's ongoing all month long in September. Dozens and dozens of top restaurants offering amazing 3 and 4 course meals starting at just $35. Places like Evelyn's at the Four Seasons Hotel on Fort Lauderdale Beach, where they have this great upscale service along with modern Mediterranean, Middle Eastern cuisine. Great menu that's being offered there for Dine Out Lauderdale. Dune, also on the beach, is a beautiful place, a beautiful oceanfront room that has some great value during this Dine Out Lauderdale month. And down on Las Olas, you got places like Planta Queen. I might be hitting that. That's a vegan restaurant. You could eat
Oh, yeah?
a little bit
All right.
healthy. They
Sounds
have
like it
some
with plant in
veg-
the name.
Yeah, they have some, vegan dishes. They have some like, what do they call it? The edamame dumplings, which, has a little bit of starch, but it's, again, on the lighter side. Can't wait to get into Planta Queen. We'll do that this month. I'm going to try to hit a bunch of places. I got to hit my friends at the Catherine down there on Broward Boulevard. And
That's what I'm joining you for, yeah.
Timon and Marissa. I might even go in there tonight to start my diet.
Yeah, good idea.
Well, they do creative
See,
stuff.
how long will it last, Lubie? I mean, in all honesty, he's done this before. The same baloney with. He may as well.
So
have a
you're
baloney
doubting
sandwich.
me already. You're doubting.
No,
me.
I love you, Mayo, but and I want you to do this, and
Well-
it's good because you really do have to work your way into the pattern and the commitment, and it's not easy because you're already talking
no,
about
man.
taking advantage of some of these.
Well,
fancy
I
fancy
read
places.
some of these spots and it gets
Yeah.
me going
With
again.
Visit
But
Lauderdale on our
the-
side, I think they've opened our eyes to what's out there. And there
and
is
there's a lot of
out
healthy,
there
a
that's
lot
both
of
good and good for you, and that's
a
what
lot of
this
these
is gonna be about.
restaurants as part of the Dine Out Lauderdale. They have offerings that are keto friendly, that are gluten free friendly. All these things you could look up all the restaurants taking part by going online to Visit Lauderdale.com/deals. And again, more than 50 participating restaurants. Again, visit Lauderdale.com/deals. Check out all the restaurants, the menus, what they're offering for Dine Out Lauderdale is on there. And so you can start planning your culinary adventure to Greater Fort Lauderdale and get your taste of the good life for less. So again, dig in now, and we'll see you later in the month with Nikki and be back on
Mohan
the
wasn't
road.
helping you any either. Mohan wasn't helping. Because you would go to those places every Thursday, and she would start engaging right away, which she can afford it, from the physical standpoint, and then you would follow suit, and the next thing you know, it was over. Even Lubie was getting shut out on some of those occasions. So we'll see. What do you say? Should we have an over under the length of time that Mike Mayo stays committed to this new?
So you have no
leaf that he's turned
faith
over?
in me. Why would
No,
you? Then,
I know it's
why-
difficult. I do this all
if
the
you're
time.
saying this, why
Every
not just
day I
make the
start a
number
diet.
227? Cut me some slack. You have no
I'll
faith
make
in
it
me.
227. You want to make it 227? 227.
Yes,
it
I
is.
do. That's the number I proposed
Contra-
originally. You
you're
said it
like
would be
Don
easy.
King, okay? I don't care if your fighter's 2 pounds over; he's going to pay. 227 from what? 238. You lose 11 pounds in 3 weeks. And it's something that we can sort of trust where it wasn't a deal where you went out and threw up the day before you went on the weigh-in and didn't eat that one day. If you do it the right way.
Well,
then,
did I mention I have a colonoscopy on the 17th? Is that
what? See, but that's like doing cocaine where you used to think, wow, I didn't eat all day today. That's the good benefit of this stuff while you were whacked out of your mind and blew off work and all of your friends and responsibilities. And then the next day you would eat like a pig, so it counterbalanced itself. I mean, you would put the 10 pounds on that you had lost the day before by not eating.
right?
For
Well, the
24 hours.
colonoscopy is the week before the official weigh-in and conclusion of the
That
bet.
helps.
So I think,
Yeah, you
does.
kind of needed it to be the day before, but
I might take a picture of the
the
scale
math might
the day
work. Yeah.
of. Yes.
Who out there is with us, and we're rooting for Mayo to do this? Rooting for him.
Yeah,
I do remember, though, I saw you, and you mentioned you were like 255, and we were at the Hard Rock. Lubie and I were on some lame assignment where we had to go out to the Hard Rock for no money or whatever, and then set up all day and act like we were enthusiastic about it. And, we didn't mind being in a gambling establishment. And you came over, and I thought, wow,
Yeah.
Mike's put on a couple of pounds, man.
No,
I mean,
more than a
that might have
couple.
been at the height of it. That was
No, that
about a
was
year and a
my
half
peak,
ago.
and that was the night actually that I had my come to Jesus moment because I was huffing and puffing the sweat. I had cankles, I had the bottom. I had
That's
my
high blood
legs-
pressure, too. No?
yeah, the swollen ankles and stuff. And I said, man, I gotta change my evil ways.
Keep the walk going.
just look
If
at
you're
me.
enjoying the walk, that'll help a
The
lot. You
walk's
have
a
to
big
enjoy it. Yeah,
I think the
you have
walk's a
to
big-
start thinking it's a good thing. I don't always want to do it, but I do it every day. At some level, usually the minimum of 3 and almost always a 4 miler. But I feel it counterbalances the 2 beers I suck down when I get back.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
No
I'm
alcohol.
really
This
working
is-
this right either. Yeah.
yeah. this is
No
gonna be the tough-
alcohol? Oh my God!
I
See,
said
that,
that
don't know-
if I
don't
got
know
any
that-
shot at this, I have to cut out all calories
don't
and
know, I don't
alcohol,
know.
any frivolous things. So.
An occasional glass
One
of
cheat
wine
day.
there. One
Oh,
glass
yeah,
of
one
Pinot
glass of
Noirs.
cider.
Yeah, be all right.
All right, let's take a break.
All
We'll
right,
be
good.
back.
Yeah.
Bye.
We'll
New
be
man.
back after these words on the Lunchbox. Pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. And we're back here on the Lunchbox. Even though the sandwich month is over, I still have food in my mouth. I'm munching away on my nice Greek yogurt with some fruit, fresh fruit. There's nothing better than those fresh blueberries this time of year when they're still.
When
They
you
still
do
taste
go
like
healthy,
blueberries.
you realize what you're missing, and that you're missing the entire point of what it's supposed to be. about eating. But let's face it, we love our our delicious fatty and rich foods. So
No, but
meats and all of that
if,
stuff.
if you're doing it the right way, you don't miss anything because you still can be eating lots of delicious things that happen to be healthy.
Yeah.
And you just don't think about all the carbs that you're missing and how much you miss pizza and pasta and all those things. That
You go,
make life
Jake
worth
LaMotta.
living.
You're familiar with Raging Bull? My favorite
Of
scene.
course.
We
My
always joke
favorite
about
line.
it. Is you got Pesci turn to De Niro, and he said, and the gangster guy, when he's going to get the title shot, says, "Hey, Jake, looks like you put on a few." And De Niro looks over and looks at Pesci, looks at the gangster, and he says, "I'll take it right off." And that's the attitude you have.
Well,
to say.
but
I'll
then
take it
there's
right
that other scene with those lines, and I've got to clean it up a little bit. But when Joe Pesci is ragging on De Niro for not cutting the weight, and he just looks at him and he goes, "Stop eating, you fat." and F-word.
Piece of something, yeah.
And he goes, a little more effing and a little less eating, and you'll be
exactly.
That could help too. I don't know if there's a girl involved, Mike Mayo. But that also. I saw you had the same incentive when that young beauty was taking an interest in you, and that quickly was dispelled when she stopped returning your texts. All of a sudden, you were right back out there on the road with Dick Steen eating 5 meals a day. Unbelievable.
Let's talk about sandwiches.
All right, what do you got?
So I did want to give a recap because it was a very eventful month. It's 51 sandwiches.
It was fascinating. It really was, actually.
And I got to go. I didn't tally up how many different restaurants, but obviously it was all over South Florida, in the Broward and Palm Beach counties. I did not get into Dade at all. I really kind of don't venture much into the 305 lately.
Because you're an old fart now. Like the old
No,
News may have been.
Dania.
You got your little
It's because
3-mile
16
radius there in Dania that includes the Highlight Fronton.
And Delray keeps beckoning, so I keep going to parts north. But in terms of regrets, I have very few. Then again, too few to mention. So the one thing that I was looking for and I never found, and I wanted to consume at one point over the month, was a bao bun, which is those kind of Asian. It's made from a rice dough, and they fold over sometimes either pork or fried chicken. They have at the Japanese restaurants. I should have gone to Shamuja because they have some pretty good bao buns. Friends at Shamuja over in Southwest Ranches in Davie. I didn't think of it. I was thinking about a place called Temple Street Eatery in Fort Lauderdale, and I drove by there on Saturday or Sunday, actually, after picking up the tongue sandwich from the deli after I tried to go to VNS and got shut out there. But I looked online at their menu. They used to have bao buns at this Temple Street Eatery, and they got rid of it, which is a shame. So I never got to eat a bao bun. And, of course, here I am after eating 51 sandwiches, lamenting
craving
the
another
ones
sandwich
that I didn't eat. But I did eat a lot of great sandwiches. And it was hard to actually come up with just the top 10. I got to, give a couple of honorable mentions. But here's my, top 10 that I kind of came up with.
In order or no particular order?
No particular order. It's just the way they came back to me at the top of my head when I was looking through pictures. I think my favorite sandwich was that Peruvian Chicharron sandwich from the J29 sandwich shop in Hollywood. That was on that's a different kind of Peruvian roll that's a little bit crunchy like glass on the outside, but very soft and pillowy. And that's with the pork belly that's kind of sliced, and along with some sweet potatoes and some pickled onions. That's the Peruvian Chicharron sandwich. I love that sandwich. That was good. The number 2 that came to me was the pork and pate banh mi from 545 Banh Mi Cafe, Vietnamese sandwich used with classic French bread because France was the colonial occupier of Vietnam for a long time. But I love that sandwich, and that was at that place in Davie. So, again, some of the more exotic ones going to foreign countries, and those are the ones that stuck out in my mind. Number 3, one of our sponsors, and their chicken parmesan hero at Pizza Spot That Wade just crushes that sandwich. I love it. Also on a softer hoagie roll that you would like, Defo. And so
don't get me wrong. I don't mind the crunchy bread. Like if I go to VNS, I'm not going to say, "Hey, you got a different kind of bread here," because I don't like your crunchy stuff. It's fine, however they make it.
does it
I don't
hurt
go
your
out of my way,
dentures
one way or the other. But I've been to places that serve hoagies on harder rolls or whatever. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, I didn't know if you had dentures that you have to remove or how that works for somebody of your age.
The teeth, luckily, I have a troubleshooting dentist, Dr. Michael Noodleberg, who he is the ultimate troubleshooter.
Oh, good.
Because literally, there are more bridges in my mouth than there are in the 5 boroughs of New York. So, but I didn't take good care of my teeth as a kid, which was an unfortunate thing.
But as long as you got the real ones and you could still chow down on a good bagel or crunchy roll, then you're all
well. Actually, the way they're doing it now, where they just put like a whole new mouth in. Have you seen that?
Yeah, they just drill it.
Like in one day. One day, like you're going to the dentist 30 times to have a cavity filled up, and this guy in one day gives you a whole new smile.
Yeah, all you need is $30,000, though, so it's
a little steep. Yeah, I'm waiting for Social Security to cover that, so I'm hoping no Republicans get elected.
So moving on to number 4, another one of our fine sponsors, Even Keel Fish Shack. I love that lobster roll.
That was great. That was good.
With that lime Fresno chili butter. Oh my goodness. And that
was really top notch.
That was good stuff. So
now that wasn't just special for us. That's how he makes them all the time, Brad.
Oh yeah,
that was great. That was really good.
That's the way they do things there.
And it wasn't like $40 like it is in some places. I mean, it was great.
It's come down a lot, which is good.
Then I was thinking of one of the places that we visited with Nicky Mohan for Visit Lauderdale and Defo. I wish you were out there, but Broad Shoulders Sandwiches in Fort Lauderdale on Commercial.
Looks like a spot to be.
I was trying to narrow it down to the one sandwich there. Lubie, I didn't know whether to go with the Reuben, which was excellent, or the Cuban, which was just as excellent.
I like the Reuben better. The Reuben was really good. Like I didn't.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to give the nod. Really I wanted to diversify. I mean, the Cuban was really good too, so I kind of jotted down the Cuban first because also in the top 10 list, our friends over at Grandpa's Bakery and Deli, that pastrami. I got the pastrami corned beef combo without the cheese and the coleslaw, just that straight up double meat combo, which some people found a little bit too much. I found it just right. That was a very satisfying sandwich, well prepared. So then moving down, the Monster at La Spada's yesterday.
Oh, good for you. I'm glad. I'm applauding that decision by you.
I mean, that was an excellent sandwich. That was the one that, I thought I was going to breeze through all the different quarters of the sandwiches that I had lined up. But when I hit that Monster, it really was monstrous, and it was just loaded for bear with all the roast beef, turkey, the ham. That was
the fresh veggies. And there was an issue you were talking about with Paul there, the manager at the Lauderdale by the Sea store, about their jalapenos.
Peppers, yeah, the sweet peppers.
It makes a big difference. And this is one of the things I noticed that I took away from the whole tour, the different places that you had spoken to, and we had a chance to talk to some of the owners and the people behind the whole thing. This attention to detail, you get it with Brad, you get it at, of course, La Spada's and Top Round and all the different places we visited. It makes such a difference. And at La Spada's, I noticed this morning when I took a bite of this sandwich that was in the fridge already for a day, and I was sitting out there for like an hour when we did the show. The freshness and the taste, and I mean, just the vibrance of the vegetables makes a big, big difference. So, these people are very particular about the ingredients they get. And, all of these places that excel at what they do, like you were discussing, Broad Shoulders and, all these other places, it's their attention to detail that really sets them apart.
My only question
is great.
My only question with that is when it sits for a day in the fridge, the bread, which is already soft and a little bit squishy, does it hold up, or is it kind of
holds up good enough for me? I mean, my dad's favorite saying, "May he rest in peace." And I saw you pay tribute to your dad on what would have been his birthday.
Yeah, right.
My dad's favorite saying was, "Cast ye bread upon the water, and ye shall get back soggy bread."
Soggy bread.
So,
and sometimes you don't mind soggy bread if the ingredients inside are still pretty good. So
push forward with that in mind.
Yes. Okay. So now we're gonna.
So you're about 6 into this, okay, and you got to the Monster.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody's keeping track of the numbers because I kind of want to squeeze
Johnny's got
12 or 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've got up at Del Rey, one of these Dickstein, the diabolical Dickstein, brought me to this Pizzeria Sophia up there in Western Delray Beach, and they had the pork with broccoli rabe sandwich that I liked, but that day the sausage and peppers just hit the spot for me. They have a sausage and peppers on fresh baked house bread that really, to me, it eclipsed the pork a little bit. I hadn't had a good old fashioned sausage and peppers sandwich. And that one, it made my top 10. It was, again, the combination of the bread and all the flavors was great. Wanted to give props to our man Pat Utter at Shenanigans, celebrating the 30th anniversary. And I know he does great fish sandwiches there, but that buttermilk southern chicken sandwich, again, this huge breast that covered more than the length of the bun, and it was crunchy, it was crispy. And the nice part for me, it didn't have a lot of the sweet. A lot of people now are going into the sweet heat things, and I can understand that, but I'm just kind of like, I like straight up savory and spicy sometimes without getting into all the sweetness. Put a couple of pickles on it. That's enough. That gives it enough of the kind of sweetness that I need. But that chicken sandwich there at Shenanigans East Side, I find a excellent sandwich. Then I'm getting into now the duck confit sliders from Three Sons at another one of our that brewing
sliders. Wow,
you missed that one too because
I missed a few of these. Yeah, you and Mohan dominated with Lubie on those.
That was a Nicky Mohan special. And then I've got the prosciutto and mozzarella on the ciabatta bread at our friends at Il Paesano. That was another Nicky Mohan. Really that was last week's Visit Lauderdale, and that one really hit the spot. Again, when you get a good old fashioned like Italian, those deli meats that they cure, and they just again melt in your mouth, tender with fresh mozzarella on the bread that they brought in from Il Forno or Gran Forno Bakery in Fort Lauderdale. They do a tremendous job. And Paola and Virgilio, I got to see him last night because I went in there. I went to see them for the big pasta cheese wheel dinner. That's the way to cap off the month after eating.
This was after you ate 51 sandwiches.
Yes, I went in for the pasta cheese wheel.
238 Mayo.
Yeah, that's why 238.
Who adjusted your scale? Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So no, that's why I guess I'm pretty pleased that it was only 238 after all that. But congratulations to Paolo and Virgilio. They became U.S. citizens yesterday. It was great. They got through their interview and test on Monday, and then the swearing in was yesterday. And they decked out their restaurant yesterday in all these American flags, and it was really beautiful. I was able to give them a little toast and congratulating them, and very emotional day for them. And I was glad that I could be part of it and eat their delicious pasta cheese wheel too. So anyway, we got to take a double break. Just a break. And it's I did have a couple more honorable mention sandwiches to throw in.
There was one too. I think Chef Jeff should be mentioned here with Chefery.
Yeah, I got to mention the
we didn't get a chance to try
Chef Jeffrey,
that chicken sandwich,
the Primanti Brothers breakfast sandwich with the French fries. That the Sonny's famous steak hoagie cheesesteak with the sauce and the onions and the mushrooms. I mean, these are all my honorable mentions. How do you limit to just 10?
Only so 6 pounds. I think you did well, kid. And now the signature sandwich always in South Florida, at least as far as I knew, was the Mahi Reuben at the Whales Rip. But we didn't get into that. And I don't know if it's still the same story there. Is it
I didn't
still
get
as
up
good?
there. I didn't get up to the Fish Shack. I mean, a lot of good other seafood sandwiches out there. And I never made it into VNS. And I did make it to Seaside Subs in July. And again, they have 2 great subs. Their chicken parm is great, and that the Big Dave, which is kind of like a hot roast beef. And I didn't mention the people at Top Round. I mean, again, so many sandwiches. You know what? That's an omission. That horse and whole roast beef sandwich that Dave brought out the other day at Top Round, that's got to be a top 10 sandwich. I guess it's just not fair to limit it to 10. We can make it top 20. So that's it.
All right. No, it was a great tour. And what I found, really entertaining were all the different stories of the people and how they got their place going and how they survived all of these difficulties people have incurred the last couple of years. Hasn't been easy, but great dedication by the people in the restaurant industry down here. That's why we have such a dynamite food scene. And we'll come back and see if Mayo's still alive and on his health kick in just a moment here on a Lunchbox.
Over here. Come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. Then there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. From our friends at Visit Lauderdale and LauderDeals, don't miss Dine Out Lauderdale during August and September in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Dozens of top restaurants are offering amazing 3- and 4-course meals starting at just $35. See all the Dine Out Lauderdale menus from more than 50 participating restaurants online at visitlauderdale.com/deals. More taste sensations are being added daily, so plan your culinary adventure to Greater Fort Lauderdale and get your taste of the good life for less. Dig in now at visitlauderdale.com/deals. For a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo here for Costas Greek Eatery and Pizzeria. If you want to take a trip to the Aegean without getting on a plane and no need for a passport, just go up to 1940 Northeast 49th Street in Pompano Beach, just west of Federal Highway, just a little bit north of Sample Road, and you will be transported to Greece along with a New York-style pizzeria. They do it both so well. They got Greek specialties like gyros and souvlaki and the grape leaves and the spinach pie, and also great New York thin, crisp New York-style Greek pizza with pepperoni. Don't miss that one. And of course, spinach and gorgonzola. Costa is a great guy. He'll smash a plate, say Opa, and greet and treat you like family. Go to Costas. It's open every day for lunch and dinner. Tell him the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox.
And you're eating.
And why can't I stop eating? I got to stop eating on the air if I'm going to lose this weight, right?
You could probably lose the dining part of this hour, where you eat on the air, and you know that would be a help, I think, to your cause. It's just
I know, but I don't
12 to 1 every day. You wouldn't be feeding your face.
No,
I only do it to annoy you, and now
It doesn't
that we have
bother
this,
me. It's great.
I
think it bothers you a little bit. But,
no, not at all. Nothing bothers me
you're a
anymore.
pro.
Even losing to Serena. I mean, you know,
you're 71. Every day is gravy.
What do I
and,
care? It's borrowed time.
And you're going to make it far past 2 years. I never said you only had 2 years.
You had the other one too. I mean, you were fairly definitive. You're rare. You know, you weren't wishy-washy about this at all. Like, I don't know if it's in my top 10. This was like 2 years. You're done, DeForest.
Hey, so a couple of notes. Pizza Spot, our friends Wade and Reese over at the Pizza Spot in Fort Lauderdale, they're on a little hiatus through Labor Day weekend. They will reopen next Tuesday, the 6th. Can't wait for that. But I'm not going to be having any pizza.
That's the problem. Is I want
to have to go there for the chicken parm, though.
No, there's no chicken parm. Again,
what if you have a quarter?
I could go there. They have a lovely Caesar salad, a little salad with a meatball on top.
Get out of here. Come on.
Meatball on top. Or on the 23rd.
It's like when I went to Gianni's and I asked to order the chicken Caesar for lunch, and the lady looks at me and says, "Chicken Caesar, you could get that at a gas station." I said, "It's on the menu." She said, "Here, try a chicken parm." And she brought it out anyway.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that great, but still, nonetheless, I appreciated the suggestion.
Staying away from all parms and all of that kind of stuff. The other thing is Joey. Joey's back in town. He had a little break, and but Cafe Seville is open again. They're going to be closed on Monday, the holiday, so they're closed Sunday, Monday this week. But Seville is just crushing it. They're
Beautiful.
people every night. And
Great.
he talk about crushing it. He hit a cold daily double to cap off Saratoga yesterday. 10-10 double, $10 on the 10-10 double. Brought back $1,500 for him.
Woo!
So it's great.
How sweet is that?
I
Wow.
love when Joey. He's
a
a beautiful man.
$300 double. He hits 5 times. Beautiful.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's up in Pittsburgh today to honor his late friend Tony Siragusa. I guess the season opener. He flew up there for the day to take care to
Pitt Panthers playing tonight, West Virginia.
And he said, "Who do you like in that game?" I said, "I got to go with Pitt, in honor of the Goose." So we'll see what happens in that. We'll see what happens with the rest of the U.S. Open. And again, all those great sandwiches. Again, my man Tom T up in Boynton Beach with his muffaletta was great.
Wow.
Jeffrey Eats at the Jeffrey Eats food truck. All those sandwiches he hit us with. And again, my favorite thing from him is that miso burger, the miso hungry burger, that burger with the black garlic. So, all right, we got to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow and do it all again on the Lunchbox. Thanks for tuning in. For Jeff Defo DeForest and Mike Lubie Lubitz, Mike Mayo saying thanks for tuning in. And remember to enjoy every salad and fruit and sandwich.
226 and a hook. That's where we're going to leave it at.
Okay. Boo.